Okay, so for today, we will discuss the different rules of differentiation. So in here, we have the four different notations, which just means the derivative of a certain function. So d over dx, dy over dx, and f prime of x and y prime are just the same thing. So it means it is just the derivative of a certain function. Okay, so let's have our first differentiation rule, which is the derivative of a constant. So, for example, the rule is d over dx of c, and our c is a constant number. The derivative of that constant number is just always equal to 0. Okay, so if we only have a constant number, this is just always equal to 0. Like, for example, if we have y is equal to 5, the derivative of 5 is equal to 0. And for example, we have y is equal to negative 10. The derivative of negative 10 is just always equal to 0. Even if we have a fraction, so if we have y is equal to 1 half, the derivative of 1 half is just 0. And same thing with a decimal number. For example, y is equal to 2.5. The derivative of 2.5 is just 0. So any constant number, the derivative of it is just always equal to 0. Okay, now let's have the second rule of differentiation, which is the derivative of identity function. Identity function. Yeah. So it is when we have an identity. So kapag meron tayong certain variable which is 1 as its exponent, like for example, derivative of x, the derivative of it is just the coefficient of that variable, which is 1. So, for example, we have y is equal to negative x. The derivative of negative x, di ba, ang exponent niya is just 1. The derivative of negative x is just its coefficient. But what is the coefficient of negative x? That is negative 1. So, another example, we have y is equal to pi x. The derivative of pi x is just equal to the coefficient of x, which is pi. So, the derivative of pi x is just equal to pi. So, another example, we have 1 half x. The derivative of 1 half x d dx of 1 half x is just equal to its coefficient 1 half. Same thing goes with if we have square root of 6x. So the derivative of square root of 6x is just equal to its coefficient square root of 6. So that's the derivative of identity function. Whatever the coefficient of the variable having 1 as its exponent, yun yung derivative niya. Now let's go with the third differentiation rule, which is the derivative of a power. So in the derivative of a power, the rule is the derivative of a certain variable having n exponent is just equal to n times x raised to n minus 1. Okay? So that is just the exponent multiplied to x raised to the exponent minus 1. Let's have an example. For example, we have y is equal to x cubed. our exponent here is a cube, or which is equal to 3. The derivative of x cube is just equal to, ano yung n natin? That is just 3x raised to 3 minus 1, which will give us 3x raised to 2. So that's the derivative of a power. Another example, if we have y is equal to x raised to negative 2. If we have x raised to negative 2, the derivative of that, of x raised to negative 2, since our n or the exponent is negative 2, yun yung magiging factor ni x. So that is negative 2x raised to negative 2 minus 1. That is n x raised to n minus 1. Okay? So it is equal to negative 2x raised to, what is negative 2 minus 1? It is just equal to negative 3. And we know that if we have a negative exponent, we can write it as a denominator. So, a positive denominator na siya. So, pag naging denominator na yung a certain number or variable having a negative exponent, magiging positive na yung denominator niya. So, that negative 2x raised to negative 3, since si negative 3, naka-exponent lang siya kay x, we can write it as negative 2 over x cubed. Kasi nasa denominator na si x. Kaya positive na yung exponent niya, which is 3. Okay, let's have another example. For example, we have y is equal to square root of x. Now, if we have square root of x, we can express it as x raised to 1 half. So, kapag cube root naman yan, magiging x raised to 1/3. Kapag fourth root, x raised to 1/4. It depends on the exponent of the inside, yung radicand niya. So, in this case, si x, ang exponent niya lang ay 1, kaya 1 half siya. And that is a square root, kaya 1 half. Pero kapag naging x squared na siya, x squared of, for example, cube root, i-express natin siya as x raised to 2/3. Ganyan mag-express into exponent ng isang radical sign. Okay? So, pero focus muna tayo sa derivative of a power. So, if we have square root of x, we can express it as a power of 1 half. We can now apply the derivative of a power. So, applying the derivative of a power, that will give us 1 half x raised to 1 half minus 1. Okay? Which will give us 1 half x raised to 1 half. Since whole number si 1, para mas madali tayong i-subtract yung fraction sa whole number, minus 2 over 2. Express natin yung whole number as a fraction also, having the same denominator. So, in that case, the final answer, so d dx of x raised to 1 half is equal to 1 half x raised to negative 1 half, because 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Or, we can simplify it as writing 1 over 2x raised to 1 half, or simply 1 over 2 square root of x. That's it. Now, let's try another one. For example, we have y is equal to 1 over x cubed. And we discussed already earlier that if we have a negative exponent, we can make it a denominator and make the exponent be positive. So in this case, meron tayong exponent sa denominator. We can also express it as a negative exponent. So that 1 over x cubed can be written as x raised to negative 3. So having that, we can now apply the derivative of a power. So the derivative d dx of x raised to negative 3 is equal to, multiply sa exponent, negative 3x raised to negative 3 minus 1, which will give us negative 3x raised to negative 4. And since the exponent negative 4 is just 4x, we can express it as negative 3 over x raised to 4. So that's the answer.